What's happening, everybody? Welcome, Volume 6 of Dreamwave Prelude. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in on us today. We really do appreciate it. This is Dreamwave Prelude, where we showcase the stars of tomorrow in Dreamwave Wrestling. We are the Sit Down Marks podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. You got myself, DB, Primo, and Dylan. What's going on, boys? I mean, lots of action happening on Prelude here lately. You know, we've already did 5 episodes. Pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, I can't believe it. We're already here at Volume 6, but I am ready to get to it. I can't wait to see what's in store for us today.
All right, everybody around here knows that 6 is a serious number. We got 2 big matches. Boys, I'm fired up. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, excited for tonight, man. 2 big matches for you. Action-packed episode coming up. 2 matches, 2 singles debuts. A couple guys that we've seen before, going to be back here with some singles matches. But before we get to that, boys, let's look back to the past. Jade Blackwell inserting herself into the Prelude Power Rankings. She got that big win in Volume 5 over Davina Thorne. But, the Power Rankings are shaping up here. We got Sean and Theseus up top, and some names are starting to etch themselves onto the Power Rankings. And we got Ezio and Matt Hatter coming up next month. So one of them is going to get another win to move themselves up. But, lots of things going on right now in the Power Rankings.
Yeah, there's talk about neck and neck. A lot of people there with that 1 win right next to their name. Of course, Sabotage, Sean Logan still at the top with that 2 wins. But, man, a handful of people just right there, just right below them on the Power Rankings.
You could really see it start to separate, though, with these 1 loss, 2 losses, even no losses. So it's not always just about the victories that they have, but how much L's they take in that column as well. You can see the big spread that we have here.
Yeah, because, in Prelude, the idea is to get to the main roster in Dreamwave Wrestling, right? So, wins matter here. Wins matter here. Singles matches matter here. Scramble matches matter here. Sometimes if you're in a battle royal, we don't count those as losses, because there's so many in it, but everything else matters. So, these guys and girls, here on Dreamwave Prelude are doing everything they can to try to stay on these power rankings and at the top. But speaking of the top, boys, you see Sean Logan right there at the top and Theseus right under him. Well, these guys, they got a little history. They had, some mishaps happen, back at the Battle Royal. They were working together, and when things started shaking out towards the end, Theseus was not happy with Sean about him moving out of the way, and Theseus getting accidentally eliminated by Ezio Orlandi. So I had a chance to catch up with Sabotage, Sean Logan at the last show. And you'll be interested to see how this all shakes out here because, some people had some comments about Sean being at the top of the power rankings. Let's check it out. I'm standing here currently with the guy up at the top of the Prelude Power Rankings, Sabotage, Sean Logan. Sean, you've been pretty successful so far on Prelude, man. You've had a lot of wins. So how's it feel, being at the top of the rankings right now?
Honestly, it feels really good being the only one with a winning record in Prelude. Now, I'll say this. I won my first scramble, won a couple singles. Yep. Now, I did not win the Battle Royal.
Oh, yeah. So the Battle Royal back in October. Let's talk about that, man. What exactly happened at the Battle Royal?
Shut up.
Whoa.
What did happen, Sean? Because we came in, we had a plan. We were eliminating everybody in that Battle Royal. 5, 6, 7 eliminations. It easily could have been you and me at the end there. We could have thrown that clown Hatter out. Okay, we could have thrown out the face of failure. All right? But what happened, huh? You just let him throw me out. As a matter of fact, you got in the way so I wouldn't see it coming, dodged, let me take a boot, sent me out.
Okay.
I know what happened. TV, I know what happened. You know that you can't beat me. You know that despite all your resources, all your advantages, the private gym, the rich family, everything that you've had in this life handed to you, Sabotage Sean Logan can't lace the Lion's boots.
Okay. What, you want a match now or something?
Oh, you want a match? February's right around the corner, ain't it, DB? How about it, Sean? Sabotage Sean Logan, the Lion of Greece Theseus, 1-on-1, and I'll show everyone. I'll show you. I'll show Dreamwave, their little golden boy that thinks up next. No.
All right. Let's do this.
You and me, February. Make it happen, champ. Put your boy in the crosshairs.
All right, looks like you both agreed to it.
Come on.
February the 7th, one Prelude, Sabotage Sean Logan versus Theseus.
You're cooked, son. You're cooked.
All right. I can't wait for February.
You know, I was just trying to talk to Sean about being at the top of the power rankings, and Theseus butts in. You know, he's pissed. He's pissed. He wants a match. So looks like it's all set, boys, for February. Sabotage Sean Logan versus Theseus. This is there's going to be some heat here between these boys. I think they both feel like they missed out on opportunities, but Theseus looks a little pissed right now.
Definitely some intensity there, something to prove on Theseus' part. I can tell that what Theseus said there kind of got into Sean's skin a little bit, where, he wants to go ahead and shut him up.
Yeah, they say it's lonely at the top. Sean's sitting at the top of the power rankings. These guys were working so well together in the Battle Royal until that one little slip up. And now, Chef Theseus says Sean's a little bit cooked. Well, I guess we'll find out come February.
There you go. February on the pre-show of Living on a Prayer of Dreamwave Wrestling. It's going to be Sabotage Sean Logan versus Theseus. So make sure you come out early and check that out. But let's get to tonight's action, boys. We got 2 matches for you. Let's get into this first one, man. So speaking of the Battle Royal, here's a match coming out of the Battle Royal. Jackson King versus Nick Kolanowski. Now, Nick Kolanowski, he's one of the newest graduates of the Dreamwave Academy. If you watch the Battle Royal, he's the one that Jackson drop kicked at the very beginning of the Battle Royal to get this thing started. So Nick requested a match with Jackson because he's not happy about it. So I had a chance to catch up with Nick before the match here. Let's see what he had to say.
A little while back, I had gotten kicked right in the face by a man in my very first appearance here in Dreamwave. Tonight, I don't take kind to bullies. I'm the kind of person that rights wrongs that other people have done. And my name is Nick Kolanowski, the Polish punk. And I'll be damned if I'll be punked out in my debut. So tonight, Jackson, I'm taking care of bullies. I'm taking care of people like you who try to take advantage of newbies. I ain't no newbie. And you're gonna see what the Polish punk has been training for the last 3 months. Look into my eyes, Jackson. You're gonna pay for what you've done.
All right, there we go. It's going to be his very first singles match. Pretty good promo there. He don't like bullies, so I'm excited to see how Nick does here. But not only is he going to have to deal with Jackson tonight, Jackson, he's got his on and off again manager Zeke Zishi, so this should make this match a little more interesting. So exciting match here, singles debut coming up for Nick Kolanowski. This is going to be a big match to start Prelude here. All right, it's time, 1-on-1. Here we go. The Lone Diamond, Jackson King versus the Polish punk, Nick Kolanowski. Let's go to the ring.
If you could zip your lip and get the microphone to me in a timely manner, this show would go on a lot much more smooth, okay?
Hey!
Now, if you will applaud my charge, Jackson King, with the respect he deserves, we will get out of your way. If I had $1, well... Sir, if I wanted to hear from you, I would talk to your parole officer, okay? So until the rest of you get a little class, I'm going to take this microphone out of my hand and give you the pleasure of introducing one more time the only one that really matters here, Jackson King.
Thank goodness. Well, as you all heard there, that was Zeke Zishi yapping on the mic, introducing Jackson King as we get ready for this bout here. Singles match, 1-on-1. Polish punk, Nick Kolanowski versus Jackson King. Like we mentioned before, this is coming off of the heels of the Battle Royale. Of course, we had Jackson drop kicking Nick out of the ring. Nick thinks he's a bully. but Jackson is here to show him that noobs cannot hang with him. So I guess we'll see how this is going to go down. And here comes Nick Kolanowski, the Polish punk, out to the ring now.
Yeah, the hometown kid out here, Nick, ready for his debut. Brought the intensity in that promo we heard before this match. I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings here against Jackson.
Yeah, and it's exciting because he is a recent Dreamwave Academy grad, so and he's right there, like you said, hometown guy. So it's pretty cool to see homegrown talent right there getting to debut here in a singles match here on Dreamwave Prelude.
You know, we talked about Jackson got to win in that first scramble, started out Prelude 1-0. See if he can make it 2-0 against, debuting Nick Kolanowski, the Polish punk.
Of course, Jackson over there yapping at the crowd, trying to get on their bad side.
Always. Jackson's always got an issue with the crowd. He's got to stay focused. He cannot take Nick lightly here.
Once again, Nick Kolanowski, Jackson King here. We got ref Ned calling the shots in there.
Shout out, Ned. Nice tie up. Jackson with the headlock, taking advantage early. Nick takes advantage. Yeah.
Takeover.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's just mention again here. Nick doesn't like bullies. He thinks Jackson's a bully because of the way him and the other graduates were treated at the Battle Royale. But Jackson thinks he's justified, of course, because of the new guys becoming
Nick
in his
thinks
ring.
he's a bully because, well, Jackson is a bully. We see him pulling his hair, slapping him right across the face. Oh, but Nick comes back with a nice clothesline. Big clothesline in the corner.
Oh, wow. Nick looking
Nick showing
pretty
some
good
fire.
here. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Not scared in his first match, coming right out. Got the crowd behind him.
Crowd seems to like the Polish punk.
Oh, but there is that drop kick. Jackson loves that drop kick. Started out the Battle Royal with it. Brings it again here tonight.
There Jackson goes again. Talking to the crowd, letting them know that he's got the control here.
He's got to keep his focus on Nick. If he starts jawing with the crowd, Nick's can get a quick one on him here.
Yeah, the way that Nick's been holding his own here against Jackson is actually impressive, being this is his first match.
Oh, big elbow in the corner. Lighting him up with the chops.
Oh, big clothesline. 2 count.
Just a 2, yeah. The crowd has their issues with Jackson here, but he does bring it. He won that first scramble back on episode 1. He's
look out! Here we got
now.
Zeke.
Oh, come on!
Come on,
Zeke getting
Somebody
involved.
Get him out of there.
Ned had his back turned. It's Nick's debut here, and we got Zeke and Jackson taking advantage of the newbie.
I guess that is one way to, indoctrinate a new wrestler. Just throw him to the wolves there.
Yeah, got to learn somehow, I guess. Just a 2. Jackson using that kickboxing background he has. But you can hear the crowd getting behind Nick here. Yeah.
Not giving up. Swing and a miss.
Oh,
Russian leg sweep.
Nice Russian leg sweep. Yeah. Takes Jackson down. Big boot to the face. Follows it up with an elbow. Putting together some moves here. Would be a nice upset win.
Oh,
Would be a nice win here in his
Hook in
first
the
match.
arms.
Jackson gets him up. Nick fights out of it, though. Oh. Kicked his head off on that one.
There he goes.
2 and just
Almost
2.
good night
just
for
2.
Nick Kolanowski.
Not over yet. The Polish Punk staying in this.
Real quick, we do want to take this moment to say that another Dreamwave Academy enrollment is coming up in spring 2026. Stay tuned at dreamwavewrestling.com for more details.
Clothesline in the corner.
That is a nice clothesline in the corner. If he followed that up with, oh my goodness, I figured he was going to follow up with a face buster or a bulldog.
Man, Nick coming right back, though.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, Primo, Nick's not just giving up. Nick's fighting, staying in this. Oh, but biting the ear. Jackson takes a chunk out, gets the advantage back.
Wow. Big cutter.
Nice cutter. Nice cutter out of the corner.
Here comes Jackson. Spinning back kick. 1, 2, 3. And there it is, folks. Thank you for coming, Nick.
Wow, yeah, big match there, big win for Jackson, and I will say this, I thought Nick looked pretty impressive there in the debut for the Polish Punk, but another big win for Jackson. This one shoots him right up the top. He's he's going to be rubbing elbows with Sean, with 2 wins on Prelude, but good match there, good solid win for Jackson, good debut for Nick. What do you guys think about Nick's debut?
Agreed. How the fact that he was able to hang in there with someone like Jackson King and, not look like he couldn't get his footing, but he was fighting back just as well as anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just first Prelude match, his first ever singles match. And held right in there with Jackson fighting the whole time. But like you said, DB, Jackson gets to win, and that's going to even him up at the top there with old Sabotage.
Yeah, big win there. Let's see what Jackson had to say post-match.
You people are really shocked? Are you shocked? Are you surprised? Because I'm not surprised. Dude, that was a cakewalk. That was his first match. You people think that guy was going to beat me in his first match ever? Look, you can keep stacking them. Keep stacking them. Keep putting them in front of me. Because I'm going to do the same thing I just did to him. And where does that put me now? I think I'm at the top now. That puts me at the top of the rankings. Hey, Sean Logan, I'm at the top now. Y'all know what I'm saying? Dreamwave Wrestling. I said it while I was out there. Get used to me, because I am not going anywhere. Look at me now.
Hey, man, we got to start listening to him now. We got to start looking at him now. We got to start listening to him now because, these kids are getting wins. Prelude management starting to put, some guys in front of him. He's knocking them down. So we ought to start getting used to seeing Jackson King. But what do you guys think about the promo?
I agree with you there, DB. He's becoming undeniable.
Yeah.
He's doing what he says he's going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Look at Me Now over here, Jackson King, making everybody take notice. Man, he's got those lethal kicks, the drop kick in the Battle Royal, then just, kicking poor Nick's head off in this one, getting that win. Sean's got to watch out. Sean can't be just all focused on Theseus. Jackson's right there with him.
Yeah, pretty wild. So I want to remind you, too, that the matches that you're watching today were recorded on the pre-show of Dreamwave Good as Gold back in December of 2025. That whole show is available right now on IWTV. But it's main event time, boys. Main event time on Prelude. We got another singles match for you. 2 singles debut singles. So, we've seen John Bowman before in the Battle Royal back in October, but his opponent, Anakin Murphy, Mr. Death Wish, very prominent on the independent scene, a very popular guy. So this is going to be a big one-on-one match between both of these guys. Let's see what both of these guys had to say before their match against each other.
I have been coming to Dreamwave Wrestling since I was a little kid. And ever since Dreamwave has come back, I have been here, busting my ass, paying my dues to get any semblance of an opportunity. But then some little twig named Anakin Murphy comes in here and wants to make his own name at my expense. That is not going to fly. But you will, Anakin, because I'm going to throw your ass all over that ring and out the door. This is Bowman's time. This is Bowman's house. And I'm going to use you to show everyone else what happens when you stand in the way of making my Dreamwave dream into a reality.
I'm Deathwish, Anakin Murphy, and for a long time, people have been messaging me constantly being like, hey man, you should be booked for Dreamwave. Yesterday at Uprising, whenever I just came to help set up and watch the show, fans were coming up to me and being like, oh man, I really wish you were booked for Dreamwave. Well, their wish is granted. Bowman, are you gonna grant my death wish? You've been coming here for a long time, man. That's cool, but that's not gonna mean anything whenever that bell rings. You don't know who you're getting in the ring with. And that is over my dead body.
All right. Big words there from both of these guys. Good promos here. Bowman, he's been on the scene, for a little while now. He's, starting to make a name. Anakin, he's a popular in a couple, in the St. Louis area, Chattanooga, Tennessee area. And now he's here at Dreamwave on Prelude. Big match here, man. Looking forward to this one. A little clash of styles, but I'm excited for this. And what do you guys think?
Yeah, like you said, Bowman, we've seen him in the Battle Royal, had a good showing in the Battle Royal, Black and Brave graduate. Said he's going to throw Anakin around, but you know what? He's not the first one to say he's going to throw Anakin around. Let's see if he can follow up. And we're getting Anakin first here on Prelude. Everybody's been asking for him in Dreamwave, like he said. We're getting him first here tonight. I'm excited to see what these guys do.
All right, here we go. One-on-one in the main event for Dreamwave Prelude Volume 6, Death Wish, Anakin Murphy versus the Hustle and the Muscle, Bowman. Let's go to the ring.
Okay, so basically there it is, folks. Of course, we have Death Wish, Anakin Murphy versus the Hustle and Muscle, Bowman. Now, Bowman's been around the Dreamwave for a while, and like he said, he's not going to let somebody like Anakin Murphy come in here and try to make a name off him, even though people specifically have been requesting and clamoring for Anakin to be put on the card. So cool to see both these guys finally getting on the card here at Dreamwave Prelude. Let's see what they got.
Starting out hot, but we can see the size advantage already. Bowman catches a flying Murphy and drops him right down. Saw the crowd getting behind Anakin to start the match. Anakin had him all booing Bowman, but now Bowman just stomping a mud hole in Anakin.
Of course, we got Rep Fick there telling him, take it easy on them kicks in the corner.
But it goes right back to the corner. Just going to choke the life out of Murphy here.
I think Bowman's here. The strategy here is just to show Anakin, this is his yard. This is his house. You're not going to come in here. I'm going to throw you around and do what I want.
Exchanging some chops. And, man, you can knock Anakin down with a chop, but he's been in there with some just brutal chop throwers. He's been in there with a Gary J., a Derek Neal, a Billy Starks. He's been in there with some big names. But Bowman grounding him here early, taking advantage, using that size.
And I can't be too upset with what Bowman is saying here. He was in the Battle Royale. And he, like we said, he's been around Dreamwave for a while, so it's not so crazy for him to have that mindset.
Nice shot in the corner, setting up for something big. Anakin able to get out of the way, trip him up, send Bowman head first into that middle turnbuckle.
Of course, Anakin calling for support from the crowd here.
Nice headbutt to the gut, followed up with a nice up kick. Some creative offense there from the Death Wish. Nice enziguri.
Ooh, nice kip up.
Pops up, yeah. He feeds off the crowd, man. The Anakin Murphy loves the crowd. The crowd loves him. Another big kick in the corner.
Bowman's looking out on his feet here.
A little wobbly there. You're all right, Primo. Yeah. Oh, but picks him right up. Anakin slides off the back. Oh, Anakin gets the best of that.
Wow.
Thought Bowman was going to put him down for a second, but Anakin with the DDT, a close 2 count. Oh, man, that was close. Dropped him right on his head with that DDT. Getting the crowd behind him again here.
Of course, Bowman pushes him off again, using that power and strength he has.
Anakin going for an octopus there, it looks like. using some of that submission skills. Just slides off the back. And, man, Bowman said he was going to throw him around, and he is trying to do just that. Oh, nice head clap. Oh, man.
I like a good head clap.
Bowman firing up, rocks Anakin's jaw. Yeah, sorry, Anakin. I don't think you're going to win a backslide on this one. But a nice roll up. 1 and 2 and nope, just 2. Just 2. Big knee lift from Bowman. Bowman looks a lot like that new security guard that's been following around Dreamwave Women's Champ. Becca
turns him inside out. Yeah.
Inside out, just tossing him with ease. Bowman knows he's in control now, just taking his time.
He does, and I don't think that he cares what the crowd has to say here or what anybody. Big
My gosh. Talk about spine on the pine. That might be it. Bowman just drove Anakin through the mat. It's got to be over. Bowman knows it's over. Just sits down, leans up for a nice 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Whoa! Anakin rolled it over 2 and 3. Anakin stole it. Anakin stole the win. So long and good night, Mr. Bowman. That is a debut win for Anakin.
Absolutely.
Anakin getting that big win.
Yeah, big win there for Anakin, man. I mean, John's been around a while. He's not easy, to beat. When he popped that spine buster on Anakin,
my gosh,
I thought that was it. Anakin probably just had enough wherewithal, to roll him over, and get the quick pin. But awesome match there. Awesome win for Anakin. I know the crowd really enjoyed seeing Anakin win. But let's see what Anakin had to say post match here.
My neck hurts. I can't feel my fingers, but hey, I won, right? I mean, I'm still breathing, so that's whatever. Bowman, you talked a lot of bad things about me, calling me a twig, saying you're gonna I'm gonna snap you in half. Well, who won? That's right, Death Wish Anakin Murphy did, and this is just the beginning. Over my dead body. Ow! Oh my God.
There you go, man. Over his dead body, coming in. First win. He's 1-0 in Prelude. You will be seeing him on the rankings the next show. So big win there for Anakin and big win for Jackson, man. Action-packed episode of Prelude tonight. We got to see some really good matches and some debuts, and looking forward to seeing how those power rankings shape out coming in the next couple editions of Dreamwave Prelude. But hey, man, another solid episode. Another episode to showcase the stars of tomorrow in Dreamwave Wrestling, and we're really excited about this. Like I said, this is volume 6, so we're just gonna keep going. But let's talk about volume 7 and 8 coming up. We got 2 big matches scheduled already. We don't know what else is coming, but let's talk about first Matt Hatter versus Ezio, another fallout from the Battle Royal. Primo, how do you see this one shaking out? Ezio's obviously pissed, but Matt kind of seems to have his number a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. Some people have that kryptonite, and Matt Hatter could definitely be that for Ezio. You're right. Ezio does seem pissed about this, but you never know when it comes down to these things. This win that Matt Hatter had could reinvigorate him, and he could still take this one as well.
Yeah, and then we got Theseus and Sean Dillon coming up, too. Theseus pissed about the Battle Royal as well. He's wanting the top, slot, in the power rankings. You keep hearing Theseus, calling Sean the golden boy, so he wants to beat, the guys at the top. So this match is intriguing.
Yeah, it seems like Theseus might be a little jealous of Sean sitting in that top spot. Man, they were looking so good working together in that Battle Royal. I was starting to hope maybe we see them as a tag team going forward, and that seems like it's way out of the window now. Theseus is just 1 win behind Sean and now Jackson in the power rankings. He can get that win in February. He'll be right there tied at the top.
That's right. Speaking of February, where are these things happening? Well, they're happening in LaSalle, Illinois at the KC Club, 209 Gooding Street in LaSalle, Illinois. This one's called Living on a Prayer. This is our February show right before we're getting ready for our biggest show of the year anniversary. This show is coming up in April. You're not going to want to miss what happens in February because, you know, everything's going to lead up to what's happening in April at anniversary. So make sure you go and grab those tickets at www.dreamwavewrestling.com or dwtix.net. Grab those tickets while you still can. There's still some available right now, but make sure you come and get those tickets, and make sure you come out early to see these matches that we're talking about. All the Prelude matches are recorded on the pre-show of Dreamwave Wrestling. All right, boys. Well, that's going to do it for Volume 6, man. We just got done talking about Volume 7 and 8, so some big episodes on the horizon. Once again, I am DB, the Dirty Bird, the host of the Sit Down Marks podcast with the other Marks on the podcast, Primo and Dylan. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today on YouTube, and thank you guys for subscribing at sitdownmarks.com. We're going to get you guys out of here on the way that we know how. Some pictures from Good as Gold back in December at Dreamwave Wrestling. We'll see you guys next time as we showcase the stars of tomorrow in Dreamwave Wrestling.